Hi everybody, it's Doreen and welcome back to day 2 of Christmas cards with the Cricut. This is the card for day 2, so come on and join me and I'm going to show you how I made this card. Okay everybody, so I'm going to go ahead and bring up the supplies so we can get started on day 2 of the series. So now my card measures 8.5 by 5.5, and I've taken and scored it in half to make it a 5.5 by 4.25 inch card. This cardstock is some of the Joann, I think it's called Paper Studio cardstock. It's the paper company, I'm sorry. And it looks like this. And this is some of their value pack cardstock, and it's the linen textured cardstock. So now I've gone ahead and cut a top layer, or my bottom layer, and my bottom layer measures 5.25 by 4, and that's going to get laid on top like so. And then I decided to add an additional layer, and this piece measures 5 inches by 3.75 inches, and that's going to lay like so. So now this paper is from a paper pack that I've had for a couple of years, and this is by DCWV. It's the holiday collection, the Christmas stack, and I use quite a bit of this in my series from last year. So I thought I'd bring that paper pack back out again because I'll probably never use all the paper that's in there. So that's what I have for that. Now I've also gone ahead and cut out some images on my Cricut, and what I have is I've got an ornament that I'm going to set right there, and I have an ornament that I'm going to place right here, and then one ornament right there. So basically that's going to be the design of our card. So now let's go ahead and start taping some things down, and then we'll talk about the sizes for the ornaments. So let's go ahead and tape down the first layer. So now this paper is also some of the paper company paper from Joann's, and I didn't go ahead and ink any of my edges on this. I decided I'm going to leave this like it is. So we'll get out our ATG gun and get some tape on our edges and then in the middle. Like so. And then we're just going to go ahead and add this to the card. So I'm going to open up my card and lay it out. And then I'm going to just add this to my card. And I'm going to line that up and then go ahead and go all the way around. So now we have our first layer. Now for the second layer, before I go ahead and tape this down, I want to talk about the ornaments. And I think I'm going to have them going that way, like so. So now my ornaments are once again from the Art Philosophy cartridge, and the ornaments are located on page 27. Which is right here. So I've gone ahead and I've cut out the basic shape 6. I've cut out 3 of those in 3 different colors, and then I've cut out the layer and then the decorative layer. So now what that looks like on the gypsy, so let's bring that up, and we'll first go to our layer 6 or shape 6, So that is key number 7, and it looks like this. And I've cut everything out at 1.5 inches. So that's our bottom layer that I have the glitter paper showing through. And the glitter paper is from another DCWV paper stack that's called the Flower Shower Spring Glitter Matte Stack. And I've had this for quite a while. I think at least a year. So now to get this to cut out on the the Cricut with the glitter paper, what I did was, you have to make sure that you have a very sticky mat. That's one of the things, because you want that glitter paper to stick down. The other thing that I did was, I didn't use the deep cut blade. I did cut mine with my regular blade, but I had the blade on 6 and my pressure was on, I believe, high. And by doing that, I was able to cut the glitter paper with no problem. If you don't have a very good sticky mat or a new mat, you will find that the glitter paper might not cut properly. And I also noticed that it doesn't cut properly if you're using little intricate images. So now let's talk about the sizes and the shapes, the other shapes. So now for this shape right here, I'm going to go to that so you can see what that is. That is, you're going to hit your combo key and your key 7, and you'll get this. And then to get this one, we're going to go back to that cartridge again. And this time you're going to hit your shift, the combo key, and the key 7. And that's how you get that one. Oops, I'm sorry about that. And it looks like this. And then to get that final one, this one right here in the middle, you're going to click on the basic icon and then key 7. So that's how you get those. So now what I want to do is, I want to have my string, and my ribbon rather, I just cut this. I didn't measure it because I didn't know how much of it I was going to need, and I want it to fold over onto the other side. So I'm going to start with the longest, the one that I want hanging down here first. So let's go ahead and just pull these up. And I'm sure I cut this ribbon way too long, but I'd rather have too much ribbon than not enough. So I know that I want this to sit right here. So I'm going to go ahead and line up my ribbon to go back there. So I'm just going to cut some of this off now, because I'm going to take this and put it on the other side. So I'm going to take the other ones off, and you just go ahead and flip this over, and then I'm going to take my tape as soon as I can find it. Okay, I'm back and I found my tape, so I'm going to go ahead and snip a piece off and just tape that down for right now. And I'm going to have that line up like that. But I think what I'm going to have to do is, I am going to have to run a thin, either a layer of tape or a layer of glue. It's probably going to go ahead and use glue. So I'm going to take my quick dry adhesive glue and run a thin line of glue as soon as I can go ahead and unclog it. I don't know, I use the quick dry adhesive glue quite a bit, and mine seems to always get clogged, even though I sit it upside down when I'm done using it, when I'm done with my cards for the day. And if anybody else has a way of this not clogging up, if you could just leave me a comment, because it gets very irritating to have to constantly clear that out and unclog it, especially when I know that I've cleared it out beforehand. So I'm just going to press down and hold this just for a few seconds, just so I know that it's adhered. Okay, which it is. So now let's go ahead and I'm going to add the next one. And I'm going to have that one sitting right up there, like so. And I'm going to flip, before I flip it over, I'm going to cut some of the ribbon off. And I'm just going to turn it around and take my tape again. And take another piece of tape, because that tape folded up on me. And just lay that down. So I'm going to go ahead and get all of these down, and then I'll be right back. Okay, everybody, so I am back, and I have all of my ornaments now on my top layer. The one thing that I did want to mention is you don't have to go ahead and glue the ribbon down, and like I did tape it on the back, but you don't really have to glue it down. And I discovered that after I realized I did have my ornaments popped up with some foam tape. So if I just gone ahead and taken off the foam tape and then pressed down, the ribbon would have stayed in place. That's what happens when you do crafting late at night. Your brain becomes fried and you can't think. So I'm now ready to add this to the top of the card. And we're going to have it line up like so. And I also forgot to mention that I did go ahead and add my bling. And I put one in the center of each one of the ornaments here. So let's go ahead and get some tape on the back of here. Now this is going to be, you're going to have to be real careful if you're going to make this card like this, because we do have the ornaments already popped up on the paper. So you want to be careful when you're adding your tape. And just to make sure, I also want to make sure I get the edges. So I've already got that one. So I think we're all set. And I'm just going to line this up and place it on the front of the card. Like so. And then go all the way around and make sure I get it adhered properly. Which I have. So the last thing I'm going to add in the front of the card is I have this package of Jolie's Boutique. And I got this on the clearance rack at Joann's, and it has a bow. And I want to go ahead and add the bow right there in the center. Like so. So there you have the front of our card. So now let's go ahead and add our inside sentiment. So now what I'm going to put in the inside is a sentiment from I believe it's an Inkadinkado stamp set called Warm Wishes. And it looks like this. And I'm sorry for this glare, but it has snowflakes and then a few words. I don't have who it's by, but I pretty much buy Inkadinkado stamps, so I think that's who it is. And I used this set last year as well. So now the color of the ink that I'm going to use is I'm going to use this Evergreen Bow again by Tim Holtz. So we're going to ink up the stamp, but before I do that, I do want to go ahead and add my mat. And the other thing that you probably should do too is just before you put all your embellishments on the front of your card, go ahead and put your inside sentiment in. That way your card will lay flat, which mine is not doing right now because I've already put my sentiments on earlier. As I said before, don't craft late at night, especially if you've been crafting all day. Your brain becomes fried. So I'm going to have to see if I can do this and get this on here with my card not laying flat. So I'm just going to hold it up like this for a second. And then I'm going to press down. And I'm going to press real hard on this so I can make sure I get a good coverage and then brace up. So there you have it. I've just stamped out peace and seasoned greetings. So that is it for our card for day 2 of the series. Thanks for watching, everybody. And don't forget to come back for day 3. Bye.